patience of many years of investigation, Jesse Caswell began to find out about Alan Martin. After inspecting his small workshop, he called on Ted Smith, the contract engineer for Meteor Aircraft. He confirmed the subcontracting offer. From there, he went to the Dalton Tool Company and looked up Bud Taylor, foreman of the shop.
Mr. Taylor, are you willing to testify in court that Mr. Martin had come to you first and asked if he could borrow this turret tub?
If you go to a bank and they refuse to lend you money, that doesn't give you a right to break in and steal it, does it? I only work here. Mr. Reynolds, the plant manager, is pressing the charges. I like Martin, but...
have you ever been in business for yourself?
Once, but what's that got to do with it?
Failure?
Well, I decided I'd rather work for a large firm like Dalton. No headaches, steady.
Yeah, I understand. But on the other hand, someone's got to start a little outfit so they can go in a big one like Dalton's here. Isn't that right, Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, but...
Thanks very much. So, $900 for that, huh?
That's right.
That's more money than Dalton had his whole plant when he first started.
We believe in that slogan, Mr. Caswell. And since Martin has committed a crime...
Well, it's not that I condone his actions, Mr. Reynolds, but it's my experience that honesty has as many degrees as a circle.
What are you trying to say?
Well, just that a slogan is like a rule or regulation. Sometimes it's unfair to make it apply. Now, if this once, you could make an exception.
And violate the trust that Mr. Dalton's placed in me?
Well, as plant manager, do you have the final word?
That is our usual policy.
Unless, of course, Mr. Dalton sees fit to intervene.
He'd never do that. You're not going to try to see Mr. Dalton.
Why not?
He's jammed with appointments all this week. He's so busy...
I don't think he'll be too busy to see me.
But, Mr. Caswell,
No more calls, please.
I tried my best to avoid bothering you, John.
Jess, you couldn't have picked a worse time. I'm right in the midst of negotiating a vital defense contract.
Well, I'm negotiating a boy's future.
I'll be frank. It was unfair of you to take advantage of our friendship.
Friendship?
Well, I'll admit that we haven't seen each other as much as we might during the last few years.
The last 20 years, John.
Well, people drift apart, different interests, those things happen.
Well, if I'd been able to get anywhere with your plant manager, I wouldn't have disturbed you.
Reynolds reflects my attitude completely. I've spent a lifetime building policy, and he's right to enforce it. I can't interfere.
You mean you won't?
Well, if you choose to put it that way. Martin committed a crime, and he's got to pay for it. I've told you that Oh, all right. I'm on the way.
There's one more question, John.
What is it?
I wonder if you remember the first time we met.
Oh, yes, I remember it.
36 years ago, to be exact. Remember where? County jail.
But my case was dismissed in the interest of justice.
With the aid of a public defender. A fellow named Jesse Caswell, remember?
Jess, that's ancient history. It was a matter of justice.
Justice? I don't think you've learned the meaning of the word.
Oh, now,
Or maybe
look.
you think it's something special that begins and ends with you, John Dalton, tycoon, pillar of society, backbone of industry. Where would you be if your boss had turned his back on justice 36 years ago? Honesty is the foundation of success. You write beautiful slogans, John. Why? To ease your conscience? Or have you one?
Goodbye, Jess.
Late that same afternoon, a tired Jesse Caswell sat in my office and told me what had happened. I was more convinced than ever that I never should have allowed him to take this case.
Bart, what are you worried about? The case doesn't go to trial for 2 days.
Yeah, but you don't have a chance of winning. The law's all on Dalton's side.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to lose.
Now, you've been in this game too long to bank on personal friendship. Besides, you just finished telling me he won't intercede.
Only because I haven't found the right way to persuade him.
Now, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to plead extenuating circumstances, to hope for probation or a light sentence.
A man has to go to jail. There's no such thing as a light sentence.
Jess, what are you going to do?
I don't know. If I did, I'd be doing it.
Now, if you want me to take over for you...
I haven't hit the canvas and you've got me counted out.
Jess, go home and get some rest.
I don't need any rest. I'm going to see Dalton.
Yeah, but you just spoke to him.
No, he spoke. I listened. Now I'm going to do the talking.
Have you ever taken no for an answer?
Nothing. I thought the answer should be yes. I may have said some things this afternoon, John, you didn't like, and I should have known better.
Is that why you came here, to apologize?
If you want to accept it as such.
When a man apologizes, he's made a mistake, and you pulled a whopper, lecturing to me as though I were some broken-down bum sitting in the tank at Lincoln Heights Jail.
Why did you bother to see me?
You know, the trouble with your kind is that you never stop to look yourselves over. 40 years of practicing law, and where are you? A deputy public defender. A few $1,000 a year, the hard way, with a rocking chair waiting for you at the end of the line.
What you think of me doesn't matter.
Neither does that nobody that you're defending.
I defended you once.
Well, who needed you? I didn't break in any place. I'm not a thief. I'm John Dalton.
John, dear. I'm sorry if I've interrupted.
You haven't. I've nothing further to say.
I gathered as much.
I'm Mrs. Dalton.
Jesse Caswell.
How do you do? John, aren't you going to offer Mr. Caswell a drink?
He's leaving, and so are we.
Well, I've overstayed my welcome now. I'm very happy to have met you, Mrs. Dalton. I feel sorry for you, John. You have so much to be thankful for.
Next time I say we're leaving, don't question it. What are you sitting down for?
I told you, John, I don't like taking orders.
Are you going to start that business again? Come on, let's just get out of here.
What does Mr. Caswell do?
Big man, public defender. Lucy, are you coming or not?
Why did you need a public defender?
I didn't.
Why did you have to explain that you never broke in any place, that you were no thief?
I had to get something through his head. He represents that boy who tried to steal a piece of equipment from the plant. Wants me to intercede for him. You know how I feel about honesty.
I think I'm finally beginning to understand it.
Now, Lucy, I don't intend to stand here and...
Mr. Caswell said he was sorry for you. That's what I've been wanting to say for a long time.
What are you talking about?
You wouldn't understand. You're a big man who thinks he has everything he wants. But you've never found your place in the sun.
Well, that's fine talk coming from a secretary.
I'm your wife. Can't you understand that? You've given me everything I want, except the right to respect you. I know now why we're always running out, surrounded by people. It keeps us from facing each other and seeing how little we really have.
I don't know what you're talking about. If I'd known this was going to happen, I'd never have let that old man come in here.
Why did you need a public defender, John?
Oh, there's nothing to it. It happened 36 years ago. I had just come back from the war, and I knew even then I was going into business for myself. The firm I worked for was supposed to give me a bonus, and when I tried to collect to get money to open my shop, they wouldn't pay.